So guys, we are on the second to last day of 2022. And not only that, we're going to end off the year with chapter 86 of Katekyo Hitman REBORN. And it was a fun year. It really was a fun year. I started off the year, I think it was either January or February, where I started off with Reborn, and I've seen it grow, and it just felt right after all these years of contemplating, should I do Reborn on the channel, shouldn't I, and everything. But this year proved to be Reborn's year, because remember, not only did I start this within February or March of this year, the official Katekyo Hitman REBORN Twitter page opened up to give us all the news about merchandise or anything that's going on with Katekyo. And then obviously we have where more merchandise collaboration, especially with Sanrio, one of the biggest collaborations you can think of for any series, okay? And obviously, even though we didn't hear no news at Jump Festa, the fact that Katekyo is being sold once again at Jump Festa after all these years is a lot of good news. And if you think about it, just over the whole duration since 2017 up until this point, Reborn has been doing extremely well, and it's just a matter of time before we hear any news about a possible return. And I'm not even gonna say possible return, a return of the anime, okay? Because the anime is not complete yet. It is not, okay? So without further ado, let's, this is chapter 86. We end off 2022 with chapter 86, and then we're going to start the new year with chapter 87. So with this chapter, 86, it continues off from 85. So everybody got a ring. As I recalled, Suna, Yamamoto, Gokudera, Hibari, Ryohei, Lambo, and one mysterious person, which you guys won't know as of yet until a few chapters later. And when I say a few, probably, I don't know if it's going to be like anywhere between 7 to 10 chapters after this, okay? Then you'll see who was the last person to get the ring. So while that's happening, and Reborn is explaining that, like, in the Vongola family, there are 7 core members. Of course, there is the head of the Vongola, and then 6 rings are given to the people who are to protect the head of Vongola. So of course the 7 rings have 7 attributes of, what was it, the sky, I forgot how they went, but the 7 attributes of the Vongola. I'm trying to remember on top of my head what like the Vongola's attributes were, because it's not only the Vongola, but that will be later arcs that's going to be explained that there's more than the Vongola. There are other families, other groups who has similar attributes to the Vongola, but are obviously vastly different. So with the Vongola, we have the 7 attributes which they explain, so I'm going to read them. So we have the sky, which was given to Suna. The sky represents the shower that washes over. No, the sky, the first boss was the sky that colors and engulfs everything. That is the ring of the sky. And then with his protectors, the other 6, we have the shower that washes everything, ring of rain, then the wind that fiercely whirls about, ring of storm, the floating cloud that can't be caught by anyone and goes its own way, ring of cloud, the sun that illuminates the sky, ring of the sun, the illusion that cannot be captured, ring of mist, and the lightning that holds a harsh strike, ring of thunder. Now for those who are new in some stuff, probably some of you may not have caught on, but these rings, yes, they're attributes, but for the few characters that have been introduced, you can obviously tell which ring fits which person. So obviously, Ring of Storm goes to Gokudera. You can kind of guess why Gokudera gets the Ring of Storm, because he's kind of explosive, like in your face. Ring of Rain, which is tranquility, goes to Yamamoto, okay? And obviously we got Sun, that obviously they'll tell later in the chapter, just a few pages later. Ring of Sun goes to Ryohei, and we could kind of guess why Ryohei gets that. Might I add also Colonello, makes a reappearance in this chapter for this arc. He did make his first appearance in the daily life arc. I did not cover the chapter that he did in, and right now on top of my head I can't remember the chapter that he made his first appearance, but if you guys do remember, do drop in the comments. But he made his reappearance because due to the fact that they're going against the Varia, and the Varia is 10 times stronger than where they're currently at right now. Mind you, they barely managed to beat Kyoko Gang, so imagine you're facing against professionals. And obviously from the fight with Squallow, it clearly showed that they are no match, and they have to train within 10 days before the Vario finally realizes what they got was fake, and they're traveling all the way from Italy, settle and everything for a short period of time to challenge them and get the rings, okay? So now that they got the rings, and you know, they're given their particular ring set for them, of course Yamamoto says, I'm not going to really participate. One, I don't really understand what's going on, and two, I play baseball. But the minute they say, you know, Suna's like, oh, you guys don't have to fight Squallow, you can be safe, you guys won't get hurt, instantly his mood changes. Obviously Gokudera was already about to go fight this guy, but the minute they mentioned that Squallow was also participating, Yamamoto quickly changes his mind, because he's like, you know, I don't want to be marked as a loser. So the whole reason now why Colonello is there is because due to the short time frame that they have to train and then eventually have to match off against the Varia, Reborn regrettably called Colonello for help because he is going to train Ryohei. Mind you, in the chapter they mentioned that Ryohei is the weakest out of all the 7, despite how when Colonello was touching all over with his rifle, he came in flying with the hawk, mind you, touching Ryohei, he realized, you know, Ryohei got a tough body and everything, but that's not enough to face off against, you know, these professional assassins. So Colonel is going to be Ryohei's teacher, and Dino, most would have thought Dino would have been helping Reborn to train Suna and everything, but he got his own student, and we best know him as Hibari. So mind you, Hibari got the ring of, what was it again? He got the ring of Cloud, which fits him very well because Ryohei is very aloof. He does not like crowding. He does not like being around other people. So the minute Dino meets up with Hibari and then explains to him that you got the ring from Reborn and Suna and everything, his eyes glisten. He's like, oh, so you're acquainted with the baby. Alright, so let's just start fighting. So they're about to train, aka they're just gonna, poor Dino has to fight this guy who just, the minute you see him, it's an instant fight. So he has his work cut out for him, but it's easier said than done because all you have to do is just continuously fight Hibari and he gets stronger. Whatever. But we have now where Colonello is going to train Ryohei vigorously. We have Dino training Hibari, and then we have where Yamamoto and Gokudera run off to find their own personal trainers or tutors, if you will. So for Yamamoto, he goes to his dad. Mind you, his dad is a sushi chef, but it looks like whenever, you know, Yamamoto's not at home, he shows off his blade skills, okay? So Yamamoto, what he does is by the time he goes home and he sees his dad, he asks his dad, can you train me in kendo? And instantly his dad's face changes. Mind you, due to that, guys, I'll just say that, like, for Yamamoto, his dad is pretty proficient when it comes to swordsmanship, okay? Because it's kind of obvious in the sense that his face instantly went to shock, but you can obviously tell, why would his son come asking him for, like, Yamamoto may at times not realize what's going on or properly investigate the situation, you know, like he just thinks like with almost like a cheerful way of thinking, but he's very intuitive and he knows really what's going off. He just goes off as someone that's very go with the flow type of guy, okay? That's Yamamoto, and he's the guy who keeps the situation pretty chill. Hence why he's the owner of the Ring of Rain, okay? And now for Gokudera, he goes to, as we all probably already assumed, his best teacher is Dr. Shamal. Of course, Dr. Shamal already made his stand since he was first introduced. He don't want nothing to deal with no males, no boys, no men, no nothing, okay? But obviously they both have the longest history with each other in this series, as we can tell from their introduction. And that's the person who best knows Gokudera, who knows his past and everything. So the best person in this situation to train Gokudera in his style of combat is Dr. Shamal. But of course, Dr. Shamal is just like, you know, leave, don't come back here with that same type of question. So Gokudera is going to have to try his hardest, because even when he asked him to heal him during the Kyoko arc, he didn't want to heal him. He in a way was just like, he gruntly healed Gokudera, and that was not because of, you know, him being sympathetic towards Gokudera's issues, his well-being. It was more like he had no choice, okay? And now he's coming to ask him, can you train me? But again, like I said, who's the best fit? And who knows Gokudera as well as Dr. Shamal does? So that is going to be a problem, a situation that Gokudera is going to have to fight in order to get Dr. Shamal to train him in time, in 10 days due time, before the Varia crew comes in. And of course, Reborn is going to be training Suna. And even though Suna is like, I don't want to do this, obviously Suna has no chance against them. And if none of them train and get strong enough, obviously they will get killed. Not only will Suna die, but everyone else, all his friends and his family will die, because the Vario will show no remorse. Remember, at the end of the day, they're professional assassins. So the whole point of the succession is one person has to be on top to be the head of the Vongola. So for them, if even Suna was to say survive out the match, because they find Suna and people who is attached to him to be a nuisance, they will go after everybody that Suna loves. Okay, so in order for Suna to be able to withstand the hyper dying will mode, he has to train consistently in the dying will mode. Okay, think of it like back in Dragon Ball Z, when Goku and Gohan was in the hyperbolic time chamber, and they had to train in Super Saiyan mode consistently to stay in that mode and be strong enough in that mode for the Cell games. Same thing here, but for, I guess, less time had to happen. So Suna has to constantly train in dying will mode in order to move on to hyper dying will mode, because obviously hyper dying will mode takes a much more greater toll on his body than the prior mode to it. So Suna's going to be training with Reborn, of course. Gokudera is going to be training with Dr. Shamal. Yamamoto's going to be training with his dad, Ryohei with Colonello, and obviously Hibari with Dino. Now the person who got lightning is Lambo, but who's gonna want to train a 5-year-old? A 5-year-old should not be brought to a fight, so you're not going to really see a teacher or tutor for Lambo in this arc, but everybody else who's old enough to fight is going to be trained within 10 days, and hopefully by the time the match actually does happen, they are strong enough to face off against Savaria and not die, not lose their lives, okay? So guys, you tell me in the comments on how you felt about chapter 86 of Katekyo Hitman REBORN. If you watched the episode that it was adapted from, basically the start of them getting together with their potential teachers and then going off to go train, do tell me how you felt about that. What do you see the differences between chapter 86 and the episode that adapted this chapter? I would love to see your comments. I would love to read them down below. The links are in the description box, guys, and I want to wish every single one of you a happy new year, and let's all hope and pray for a wonderful 2023, and I will see you guys in January, okay? And I'm Kimi-chan of Anime Legends, and I will see you guys later. Bye!